Hi there, this is Nicole Watkins, Director of Author Support here at Morgan James Publishing, and today I am speaking with Megan Day, author of New Mom, New Job: How to Make the Right Choice When Maternity Leave Leaves You Wondering. Megan, thank you so much for being here today to talk about your newest book.
Thanks for inviting me on. I'm really pleased to be here.
Absolutely. So I've got this first question for you. Who did you write your book, New Mom, New Job, for?
Uh, so it became increasingly obvious to me that in my own personal life that many moms were struggling with their career choices after becoming parents for the first time, sometimes the second time. And I was hearing a lot of stories from women saying, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to balance it all. I don't know how to be the best employee that I have been in the past, and I don't know how to be the best parent that I now want to be. And they weren't seeing a way forward, a way to kind of integrate their personal life and their career work. Um, and so, this book is written for women who were very similar to me at one point when, women who are struggling with trying to make a choice. And it feels like there's not a right answer. It feels like you're always choosing between, your passion, your professional work, and your all the things that you've trained for and worked really hard for in your career. And you're choosing between that and your family and your kids. And, I wanted to make a book where it didn't have to feel that hard. It was like going to be a guide for women to make that decision with more ease because, often in our lives, we'll talk to our partners or our friends or our family, and we'll spin around and around trying to get an answer and make a decision. And it doesn't usually work. um, and so this is a pathway. It's guided. It's a way to get from point A of confusion and stuck and struggle to the end point of clarity so that you feel good about what you're doing going forward with your job.
I love that. And there's so many moms out there that are really going to benefit from this message. I know my son is 6 now, and I can definitely remember struggling with that, finding the balance between the two, between work and raising your family and starting on that journey. So I'm so pleased that you're bringing light to this much needed message. So I have to ask, what has been your personal and professional experience with career change?
Yeah, so prior to kids, I went to school, I got the degrees, I got the job I started working at a hospital, so a very well-known hospital where I'm from, a children's hospital, and it was the job of my dreams. And then I got pregnant a number of years in. And, at that point, I was involved in a lot of extracurricular work. Like I was teaching with the university, and I was doing like support groups for parents because I was working in healthcare, obviously. And suddenly I realized, I have this little person that I want to devote so much of my time to. And my career, my commute to work, I had to go on the commuter train into the city, and it was about an hour back and forth, so almost a 2-hour commute. And I realized, this is not going to work going forward. And so I ended up finding a job closer to home, still in my field, after my daughter was born, and I went back to work. So that was kind of one scenario in my life when I had been a working parent. I went back to work full time, a little bit closer job, but still within my field.
Mhm.
Now, fast forward a little bit to my second daughter being born. I didn't fare as well after she was born. I never questioned my career up until that point. I questioned like how the logistics of it would all work, but I never questioned the work that I was doing until my second daughter was born. And things got really hard, and I struggled with postpartum depression. And despite working in healthcare, for the first time in my life, I kind of had to acknowledge that I needed help and I needed to see a professional. So I worked with a therapist for a while there. And still something wasn't right. I was still feeling this kind of pit of like somethingness in my stomach as the approach to my return to work kind of got closer. And then I just stumbled upon a life coach. And, you know, the therapy helped me heal a number of things, but there was still work to be done to kind of pave my route forward. And so my work with the life coach helped me to recognize what was important to me. And I ended up taking a lesser job at the hospital and working very, very part-time there. And I decided to go and take some courses and to become certified as a life coach myself, because I was seeing how important that piece was. Mental health is very important to me, and, you know, to women in general, I think right now who are trying to raise families. But I think there's this other piece that goes unmet. It's almost like the permission piece to explore your own passions and to explore your own path forward. And that's where life coaching kind of came in for me. It helped me to recognize, okay, now that I've taken care of some things in my life, I need to figure out the rest. And so, yeah, that's where my business kind of started, and became an entrepreneur. And I was working part-time, and my kids were in school and daycare at that point. And, you know, I've just done all of these different scenarios myself. So I think that forms some of my book and my knowledge as well. And the work that I do with my clients as well is coming from personal experience. I bring into it some of my professional experience as well. I was a genetic counselor, so a lot of the work that I was doing had to do with adjusting to major changes in life that came with these genetic diagnoses. So families would learn that they had this diagnosis of, sometimes it was cancer, sometimes it was like vision loss. That's another field that I worked in. But always there was this adjustment. And so, you know, I bring some of that into my work as well, understanding this adjustment, this new normal, and how that can work for you. And then, you know, up until now, my clients have really informed my work as well, and worked with all kinds of moms, entrepreneurs, full-time corporate, healthcare women, teachers, mindfulness instructors. So like all kinds of different moms who are working their passions. And that really directs a lot of my work as well.
Wow. Yeah. And that really makes me wonder, you know, what your approach towards career change, what approach did you take specifically that makes your process so successful?
Thank you for asking that. So when you think of career change and you think of like, you think of your job description and all of that stuff, to me, that's a little bit dry and it doesn't take the whole person into perspective. So in my work, I look at the whole person. I look at your career being an expression of yourself. I look at it being an expression of the work that you do in the world and what you stand for. Let's be honest. I mean, as parents, we don't have a lot of extra time outside of family and work. And so that takes up a large portion of your time and of your life. And so, you know, looking at the whole person is really important to me. And I have that perspective of, you know, what it means to be a modern kind of working parent. A lot of times the career work will look at kind of like your strengths and your resume and your experience on paper, but I'm going a little bit deeper. I'm going into, well, what experiences have been meaningful to you and how has that impacted you as a person? Those are kind of your moments in life that define you. And so, yeah, it's a holistic approach. It's looking at the struggles of the modern parent. It's looking at, I like to say, your life as a PhD. So a lot of my clients have advanced degrees, but some of them don't. But even still, you know, from the experience in your life, you've accumulated these bits of wisdom, and you've accumulated things that you just fundamentally know about yourself. And so making sure that the career choice and the path that you pick, first of all, you have to feel good about it. So there's that clarity that I'm really working for at the end. So it has to be in alignment with who you are and what you want to show up as, and what you want your kids to know about you. That's important too. So that there's this clarity piece that I'm working for at the end of the process. And once you gain that clarity, you realize you don't feel stuck anymore. You're feeling very grounded. You're feeling very excited about your path forward. And there's not that kind of pit of nervousness or scared, is it going to work out? What am I going to do? What are people going to think about me? It kind of falls away because you're connected to who you are and what you're doing.
Such a great topic, especially for, the experience that all of us have found ourselves facing this year with so many ups and downs and unknowns and the strange balance and new normal and adjustments that we've all had an opportunity to decide how we want to forge our own journeys and what that really means and looks like for us. There's been a lot of that, I think, inner reflection of what we're doing. And I think as you're speaking to especially moms that have been doing that balancing act between work and family life, figuring out how to really look in between those two identities and really discover what it is that they're meant to do, or just bringing forth their actual inner passion. I think that's so wonderful. So I know there's going to be a lot of moms and individuals out there watching today that really want to make sure that they stay connected with you. So where or how can they best get more information from you and just stay in touch?
I think right now the best way to reach me would be by email directly. And my email is Megan, so Megan, at rootedandvibrant.com. That's the name of my business, Rooted and Vibrant.
Excellent, excellent. Well, it's been such a great conversation today with you, Megan. And for those watching, just know that you can get Megan's new book wherever books are sold. And definitely New Mom Job. Wonderful.
Yeah, there it is for you.
Excited. So make sure that you check out a copy of Megan's book and reach out and stay connected with her. Megan, it has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Nicole. It's really fun.